Hi everyone, this is Jodie from the Crafty Bower, and today I want to do a tutorial on creating this dolphin. It's a very easy pattern. It's no sewing at all except for weaving in the last tail, and yeah, it's just super simple, super easy, and I'd like to share it with you all today. So the materials I'm using is obviously a stitch marker, needle, scissors, eyes, glue if you use it for your eyes, stuffing, and today I'm using a really good chenille yarn by Zaddy Crafts. I actually had never used this yarn before until tonight when I made this first dolphin from it. I am actually thoroughly impressed with it. I definitely give a good shout out to it. The yarn is amazing. A lot of the polyester yarn does not agree with my hands because my hands dry out so easily. But this is just delightful. I am very happy with this. And I have a feeling Zaddy Crafts has just made me a polyester girl because I usually only do acrylic. So I am very impressed. You have probably turned me into a polyester girl, Zaddy. So that's my little shout out to this. I can't get over it. It actually is a really good chenille yarn. Okay, so let's get on with the tutorial. And but yeah, I just like I'm doing this and barely any fluff's coming out. Like that never happens with chenille yarn for me. Anyway, let's continue with this tutorial. So what we're going to do first is create a magic circle. And into the magic circle we are going to do 12 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And just cinch that shut. Okay. If you're not confident doing a magic circle, you can do either chain 2 and single crochet 12 into the first chain, or you can do a chain 4 into a circle and then single crochet 12 into the circle you created. Those are both perfectly optional solutions too. I did do the 4 chains into a circle with a previous dolphin I made for my daughter, so it definitely works. Whichever way you prefer to do a beginning circle, feel free to go with that. It is quite a tight fit having 12 single crochet in there, but it is for a purpose, so please stick with me. So now we're going into our second row. I never know if the magic circle is the first row or if the first row is the row after it, because this is like a foundation. Anyway, so into the first stitch we're going to do an increase, if I can get my hook into that, and we're just going to increase 12 times all the way around. I'm just going to put my stitch marker in that first stitch so I don't forget where that is. And yes, we're just going to increase all the way around until we end up with 24 stitches in the round, or crochet in the round, whichever way you prefer to call it. Got one more to go. There we go. That is our second round. I'm calling it the second round. So into our third round, the first stitch here that we've put our stitch marker in, we're going to do 1 single crochet. I'm going to move my stitch over. then we're going to increase, and then again single crochet, increase, and we're going to do that all the way around. So feel free to meet me back here at the end of your round. So now we're up to our 4th row. We're going to single crochet into that first stitch, move our stitch marker, and then we're going to do one more single crochet and then an increase. So again, we're going to repeat 2 single crochet over the next 2 crochets and then an increase. So single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, and we're going to do that all the way around. Oops. Okay, we're up to our last round now. Now it is going to be a bit wonky, this circle, but that is wanted. We want that. So for our last round, we're going to do another single crochet into the first stitch, move our stitch marker. We're going to do another 2 single crochets over the next 2 stitches, and then we're going to have an increase. So again, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 3 single crochet, and then an increase. 1 crochet, 2 crochet, 3 crochet, increase. And we're going to do that all the way around. Now last increase, and there we have finished all our rounds. We do have one more thing to crochet, our final kind of row, but we're no longer going all the way around. We are now going to be folding our creation to create the moon shape like this. Before we do crochet that, however, we're going to get rid of this stitch marker as we don't need it anymore. We're going to chain 3. Then from your second chain from the hook, we're going to slip stitch and then do one more slip stitch like that. And then we're going to push in our hook into the first stitch where we just removed the stitch marker and the last possible stitch that you can get your hook into, which I think is this one here for me. And we're going to do a single crochet into that, like that. And that is going to create our nose of the dolphin. Now we're going to crochet again through the front and the back. So again, I'll try and do it a bit more clearly for you guys. We're going to go through the front 2 loops, and then we're going to go into the back 2 loops of the other side. So we're going to crochet those together like so. Now we're just going to do a couple of these, not too many, maybe about 5 or 6, because what we're going to do is put in some eyes. I'm just going to create an extra bit of a loop there, and we're going to pick some eyes. I've only got 10mm ones at the moment. They are a bit small, but I don't really have anything bigger right now, so this will just have to do. So where I like to put this eye is, you can see here, this is the first kind of line of increases from our beginning, and I like to put it between the last round and that second round that we did, so it goes right there. And then again on the other side, kind of judge to be about the same, about there. So the increases is here, but I think we go 1 stitch in that direction from this line of increases. Just I don't know why that is, but it just makes it more even doing that. If we try to put that at where those increases are, it goes a bit too high for the other side. So I don't know why that is, but that's just how it is for me. Do look at it, your project, and see what works best for you in your placement. You may have a different placement that you prefer, especially with bigger eyes. You might want to go a bit further this way or that way, or like maybe up here somewhere. Just depends on the size of your eyes. Like I said, I've just got 10mm ones at the moment. They're probably not the best for this yarn, because like I have got big, well, the eye's not going through, but these are like, this is a big, you know, obviously you can still poke your fingers through this, like, because it's plush yarn. It's not like solid plastic. So do what you can with matching up your eyes, as long as they match on both sides. It doesn't have to be, they could be lower, they could be higher, like as long as the eyes are matching on both sides, that's all that matters. So I'm just going to glue mine in now, and I'll be back in a moment. I have now glued my eyes in, and I'm ready to continue this pattern. So from the beginning stitch, I have worked out that you do 13 single crochets up before we work on the fin. So at the moment I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to do another 7 single crochet to the top. Basically you just want to kind of get it in the middle of your semicircle here. So it might not be the exact same count, but I mean, and you might prefer the fin to be a bit more forward or back. It's purely up to you. But just, yeah, crochet to where you believe the fin should fit. For me, I believe I do 13 single crochets, and that is perfect for me. So I've just done my 13, I believe. Let me just double count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 12. Oh, I am 1 short. So let me just quickly, yeah, that does make sense. It looks a little forward to me. So I'll just quickly do 1 more. Okay, and there we go. Now I'm at the center. Okay, so in this one stitch we are going to put in 4 double crochet. There is also going to be a chain 2. So to begin, we're going to do 2 double crochet into this stitch. So that's 1 and then 2 into that same stitch, not the next stitch, into the same stitch. We're going to chain 2, and then we're going to do 2 more double crochet into the exact same stitch we were just at. So 1 and 2. Whoops. Now into the next stitch after those, we're going to do 1 single crochet into the next stitch, not in the same stitch, and that creates our little point. There might be a bit of a gap there, but that's because they're double crochet and there's a chain 2 there, but that does create a pretty good point. So now what we're going to do is single crochet probably to about the 3/4 mark around your semicircle. So let's do that quickly. You don't really need to count for this part. All we're doing is creating a good pocket to begin stuffing. Oops. Oh my god. The joys of crochet. Okay. Now when we stuff, something to keep in mind is to make sure the stuffing gets in front of the eyes into this section here. We don't want this part being really flat. We kind of want a nice shape all the way across. So you can see there's a bit of a face there for him. This just kind of also helps with the eyes themselves, especially if you don't melt the backs like I don't. We don't want the opposite eyes poking through to the other side either and poking anyone. So yeah, that's just yeah, make sure you get some stuffing in front of those eyes. So that's what I'm going to do now, is get my stuffing, and we're just going to make sure we just get a little bit in front of those eyes. We don't want to overstuff it too much, but yeah, that's pretty good, like that. So he's got a bit of a face to him, and those points are definitely got squish between them. So we'll just continue to fill out his body. I apologize as well if this quality of video is not up to scratch. I am just filming off a phone. I don't have a camera at the moment. So we're going to stuff that in. Poke, 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 poke. So that's just a little bit more, and then I'm going to continue on to the end. I'm going to keep going to crochet and maybe stop around here. So probably another 3 or 4 single crochet around my semicircle, so that I can finish up stuffing. Or maybe a little bit more than 3 or 4. This is should have got more stitches than I thought. There we go. So that's still enough room to poke. Let's get a little bit more fluff in that. There we go. So that's nicely done. Now we're just going to seal it all the way up. And that all the way to the end. Like so. So there we go. We've completely sealed up our dolphin now. Now we just got to do the tail. For the tail, we're just going to chain 5, slip stitch back down to the first crochet, chain another 5, and again do the exact same thing. Slip stitch back into that first crochet. Then we're going to finish it off with a bit of a tail. My scissors gone blunt there. Oops. There we go. We just now have to weave that end in. You can see like this end, no fluff's coming out of it. That's awesome. So I'm very impressed with this yarn, if you can tell. Alright. Okay, and we just got to weave this in. I'm going to weave through my stitches a little bit just to make sure it's extra secure. Like that, one. Then I'm going to go back into that same line of stitches. And then I'm going to go into the body and do that a few times to secure my tail. There we go. And that there, my friends, is a dolphin complete. Look at that. He's got a little nose, he's got his fin, and he's got a tail. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you were able to create your own dolphin through this experience. This will be my first official YouTube tutorial. So thank you for joining me. I very much appreciate it. But yeah, that didn't take me too long. I hope it didn't take you too long either. And I hope it's something that maybe you could bring to your own markets and such. I can actually see that I may have still done that fin a little bit too early because I kind of like it more to be in the middle, but that's okay. Each dolphin's going to be unique in their own unique way. So yeah, there you go. That is our tutorial today. Thank you. Yeah, if you've watched through this whole entire video, I very much appreciate it. And I hope I see you for the next one. Bye for now.